All right, y'all, welcome. You already know you listen to Pretty Girls Love Hip Hop with the one and only Soleil, and we are bringing Mike Talks to Pretty Girls Love Hip Hop. You already know we on Camp Student Radio, so anything that you hear here or see here, you can see on campstudentradio.com. But Mike Talks is going to be a platform that I'm bringing to Pretty Girls Love Hip Hop, where we're actually bringing a lot more local artists to camp so that you could hear a little bit more about their music, about themselves, and be introduced to the community. So today I got a special guest up in the building. I got Mr. Ray over here.
What's good with you?
How you feeling today?
Hey, we're alive and breathing. And
that's the best thing you can be.
Yes,
amazing. All right, let's just kick it off. So tell me a little bit more about Ray as the person, Ray as the artist.
Oh man, Ray as a person, I'm just like, you know what I mean, a friend, a normal, just human. I'm just living. We're out here hustling hard, trying to just survive, take care of the family. The artist, man, I try to like. Just like the 5-year-old me living out his dreams, being able to like travel off of music. That's a blessing in itself right there. So like the artist is really just ambitious, hustling and speaking for like the younger me, the younger experience,
Beautiful.
trauma, bliss and all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So speaking off of that, where did you grow up? Where are you from?
South side of Tucson, Arizona.
Okay. Born and raised.
Tucson. Yeah, Tucson.
There we go. And he was actually just telling me the other day about the meaning of Tucson.
Oh, yeah. Tucson.
Yeah.
CH.
Share it with them because I'm sure they don't know either.
Shouts out all the Otham homies. Shouts out Pasqua. Shouts out all the indigenous bodies who've been living out here for generations before any of these institutions. We actually, originally we're called Tucson. It meant base of the Black Rock. And that's U of A right there. Not U of A. That's a mountain right there. You know what I mean? That's
a piece of
that's all the lava rock. Yeah, a piece of it. That's all the lava rock right there. Like ancient the land told many tales. You know what I mean? Like shit. Just keeping it a buck. Like my friend put me on to aquaponics. Have you ever heard about that?
I have.
Beautiful. Yeah. So you know how fruitful lava rock could be with aquaponics. Have you heard about that? All right.
Sick. You got me at the first part.
So here's the thing. So check
Tell
it
me
out.
about it.
With aquaponics, like because of where we're at, like a lot of the soil is like hard to get, like really good soil.
Right.
But lava rock tends to be some of the most like nutrient like
dense.
It's perfect. And shouts out to homie Young Davon. Bros Pops going crazy on YouTube. Built this crazy system, aquaponic system out in Phoenix. Put a lot of people on. It's created like a crazy like little mini revolution that's going on within like people's backyards. Anybody can grow their own food. Self-sustainability is real. You know what I mean?
Super important.
You got resources in your own backyard. Shouts out A Mountain.
Yep. One day that's my dream is to be able to grow it in my backyard too.
There we go. Hey, it don't take time.
It's so important. It's
Gardening,
really like it's important. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so we got to talking a little bit, but I want you to share with them. I know a lot of your motivation for your art and how you approach it and writing comes from just like having that natural inkling to write. So just share with them a little bit on your vision, how you approach your art, like how you approach writing, and then you even told me about how sometimes like if there's a writer's block, you kind of just go. It's a redirection to a different form of art. Yeah. So share a little bit about that with us.
I love that creativity flows. It lives in everything we're doing. When you're rushing on your way to work or to school and you're running late. Shouts out Rick Rubin, Creative Act. If you like reading, go dive into bro's book. The way he articulates like the process of creativity unlocked a whole understanding. You know what I mean? Your relationship with it is important.
Right.
To practice on that alone is important. And writing is just one of the mediums. You know what I mean? So similar to like what you were saying, to segue into that is like, if I ever felt like I couldn't write, I couldn't get something off, I was convinced it was the universe telling me I didn't mess with different materials. So I would go pick up a camera or go pick up, it would look like whatever. Sometimes you hear artists talk about, you need to go out and experience life. You need to go out and live. That's true too, but there's creativity in that. You know what I mean? You go and you experience some art, go watch a show, you go watch a movie that you liked, or you go kick it with that favorite person that feeds your spirit in a different way. All that informs your art. Straight up, every artist out there, if you're listening to this, if wherever you're at hearing this, however old you are, whatever stage you are in your process, the universe is constantly feeding you a source of inspiration. You learning how to tap into it is your relationship with your art and honing on that every day. And that's kind of what that is. Like so when it comes to me writing, I do my best to really like, ever since I kind of learned that piece of it, that when I'm out taking pictures of people like I love or experiencing moments that I remember, I know that that's informing the bars. You know what I mean? And I never really looked at it like that in the beginning. I figured it's that whole, like, I guess, does life imitate art type thing? Like, we be speaking on what we're speaking on so much that, one, is beautiful. Like, I feel like a lot of projects, a lot of songs I got are, like, on some real therapy thing. And
it's an outlet.
It's beautiful though, because I'm at peace with like if they never see the day of light.
Right.
And that's something so terrible.
Because it's an outlet just to get it all out. Yeah.
And like within that, I get to pick how do I fully form this idea to a point to where I can get it to people and like stand on it.
Right.
I'm trying to get to a place right now. I've been making music and art for so long that right now I'm just trying to understand what it looks like for me not to compromise anything.
And be able to touch all of those mediums.
All of those mediums and execute all these ideas, because it's also ill. It's such a blessing to transmute.
What's in your brain and actually be able to do
it or what,
in an art
form.
Feeding
you.
Right.
The universe is feeding you.
So with all these creative mediums that are kind of coming to you through the universe, what made you decide that rapping was going to be the one that you prioritize over others?
Hey, shouts out hip hop for real. Shouts out hip hop. Shouts out all the crazy lyricists. I remember being younger, and Tucson's a very interesting place, right? Because out here in the desert, we're in Arizona, bro. Like there's no infrastructure for like hip hop to like thrive like that, right? So when you tap into it, it's kind of like on some like mirror type thing. You go through struggles, you go through certain things, and you see a resemblance in the way you experience life and like how you hear these individuals talk about it. So shouts out individuals like who were talking crazy, Immortal Technique, KRS-One, people like that who I remember first touching music of theirs and being like, oh damn, I can question everything around me and make it feel like it like opens up a whole new horizon. You know what I mean? So the way you can look at the world now is different because now you're changing perspectives.
Right.
And learning, that's a whole thing to unpack itself. But and then also like, man, being able to use that as a way to learn about yourself. Go inward. Not learning about your surroundings, but then it makes you look inward. You start traveling, like I was saying earlier, even being able to travel, it's allowed me to look at what I came from, the people that my loved ones, people who share the same blood as me, the same skin as me, all that, the same heritages, the same shit, everything.
Yeah, we got into that a little bit too.
Yeah,
just understanding
dense.
the world around you and how it's so different.
Facts.
Like it's not just confined to Tucson or like for me in Jersey. Like there's so much life and experience out there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Right.
I feel like hip hop was almost like a lens. It allowed me to open up that lens a little bit more and see more what's out there. And through that, my eyes got wide, and I've never wanted to shut them.
So you named a couple of legends. When did you start? Is that something that you grew up listening to? Like, was it in the house, your parents cleaning on a Saturday?
Man.
Was that like a part of your life?
I grew up interestingly, like, shouts out my nana. Straight up, she raised me. So a lot of cumbias, a lot of banda music, a lot of like
yeah, you still gotta teach me so you
can
can get up there and start doing it.
I make some steps. Honestly, I'm still learning too. Like, shouts out all the homegirls who ever pulled me onto a dance floor for real and showed me how to move. For real, like a lot of that early on. Shit, she's waking up, cooking, cleaning. She's bumping.
You hearing it playing the kitchen.
And then like nighttime would hit. It's Sunday. It's all Marvin Gaye, the Isley Brothers, and like a 6-pack, and just me and her, and we're vibing. And like my mom's passed away when I was mad young, right?
Sorry about that.
You're all good, no. But she left me like this pack of CDs, this crazy ass pack of CDs, and it was like so many of the legends like you would imagine. I remember Big Pun was in there. It was like a lot
Puerto
of
Ricans.
Yeah, there we
Big
go.
Puerto
Shouts
Rico.
out Latino. Shouts out to Puerto Rican homies for real. Out here, one of the illest lyricists ever to live.
100%.
Shoot, outside of that, I remember there was like Matt Biggie in there, Tupac, but even like the Usher stuff. I remember that. I remember like just falling in love with music and having that around me so much. I didn't necessarily know what it was. I remember 6th grade picking up a trumpet. But yeah, I think like
I played trumpet too.
Hey,
I was the only girl on the like. It was a group of boys, and it was just me with all the other girls. They wanted to play flute, clarinet. I was like, "Give me the trumpet."
The trumpet's powerful. It's a nice
I love. It's 3 little keys. All you gotta go is like
kill it
this.
too.
Yeah.
The half notes. No, I miss the trumpet, but man, I think like choosing writing, I think was the boundaries I could see that I could push. Really, I think that was a big thing that made me gravitate toward it.
Right. And tell me, like, if there was any, I know you spoke to like your nana and like the CDs that you had, were there any artists specifically that kind of influenced your style or that you kind of like use to base or inspire yourself and when you're writing?
Yeah, man, I think Andre 3000 is probably one of my favorite rappers like ever. Like, bro's ability to like stay human and still deliver you something that hits like the strings of the soul, you know what I mean? Like on the hardest beats. I remember, you remember Walk It Out? Now Walk It Out. You
of
that?
course.
Okay, cool. My bad. I had to ask. You know, like his remix.
They still be playing that Cobra.
His flip on that though, like his remix, crazy. Like he has some of the craziest features, even to recent things. The way he's like popped out in random ways, and even him diving into the flute, that just speaks so much. So even what we were talking about before with creativity, like
the different mediums.
I could commend your willingness to trust your passion and your impulse and whatever that thing you geek about, follow that follow that 110%, and I love that. And like so, him for sure. A lot of free people like that. Tons of them. I think Prince. I love Prince a lot. Shouts out the homie Andy. You made me dive into Prince on a different understanding. The homie Lasso. Shouts out Lasso. Shouts out Detroit. Put me on to Prince. Nice. I remember Nip had a crazy impact. I remember being in middle school. He would come to the city sometimes randomly, and I just remember like my OGs. Yeah, my OGs. Like it was on some hustler shit. Like if you weren't like really on the underworld, you didn't understand why it was dope that he was coming out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like some underground artists coming out here. Like I remember Playboy Carti came out here early on, Lil Peep, when he like his first show was out here type thing, right? And that's kind of what we've always had is like people
get to see them before they develop into
people hop out here and really do the groundwork,
right?
And it's always been so sick. Now whether people come back or not, that's a hearsay, because at the same time I've heard of a lot of individuals having terrible experiences. Travis Scott came out here, his chain got yanked. He hopped off stage and like in the Rialto, people like tried stealing his chain. Like
that's crazy to hear that
people,
he came here.
People
for Rialto.
Like I think it was Wayne. I forgot whose tour bus got shot up. You know what I mean? Like, there's like a lot of
there's instances.
There's crazy experiences.
It happens.
Now, I'm not saying it's good. It's not. It's just what it is. It's terrible.
Right.
But like like what's crazy about it is like our relationship with that has always been in tandem with like the underworld.
Right.
To where hip hop was just naturally like the gravitating factor. So going into that, Nipsey, I remember Nipsey early on. Mac Miller, shouts out Mac Miller. I'm gonna say those three. I'm gonna stop with those three.
Okay.
Straight up, 103,000 Nipsey Hussle and Mac Miller. All three of them.
Well, I'm actually like glad that you started talking about a little bit more of the underground scene out here. Could you talk more to like what you think the current state of the underground scene in hip hop is specifically in Tucson and your experience with it?
Man, I think it's so beautiful because there's so much open range to what we could do. I think for the most part, we're dealing with, I said it earlier, lack of infrastructure. I think that leads individuals to like learn how to make it for themselves. You know what I mean? There's this crazy quote that Virgil had, and he talked about the can being in the garage. I don't know if you remember that. He had this lecture he given to Harvard, or I forgot what exactly it was, but I remember watching it a few years back. And he had talked about this can. He had a crushed up can, right? And he had it on the Zoom, and he was like, if I put this in a garage, it looks like a piece of trash. Right. You can hop in, throw it in the trash, and you won't even remember it. Now, if I throw that in an all-white gallery space on a podium, now the value of it changes, right?
100%.
And I think what we're dealing with is individuals who they love, and now the can is what the can is. And I think what's so sick, going into design and all that stuff, whether the can is beautiful or not is objective. But out here, I feel like people are making art, beautiful art. It's not just a can. Right. It's not just a crushed up can. It's bodies. But there's no galleries that help uplift that. And we tend to find that we need to build those gallery spaces ourselves.
You know, I'm glad that you say that, because even, you know, I work at iHeart right now, and I'm like, we have so much potential here in Tucson. And, you know, like, I didn't grow up here, but I've grown to understand what the space is and, like, the community and what type of foundation you guys already have there, that there's so much potential to grow. It's just where are the resources that are going to get us to that next point.
Exactly. And it's creating that foundation. I look at it, man, like, the way I look at it, like, I love, you want to talk about the underground scene, I'm not, nods to everybody who's out here cooking. Shouts out Cash. Straight up, that's big, bro. He's one of the first people who ever bought a verse from me, who ever put some money in my pocket on some real shit, even like just started messing with me. Shouts out all the homies who've been rocking with bro, man. Like, shouts out to all the homies over there at Brickbox. You know what I mean? I know they've been grinding so hard, like building infrastructure, building a space that people can come and have a consistent way to express themselves and get off their art. Now, what's crazy is the disconnect between learning to monetize your art. That's where everybody, because you start making music, right? The conversation is like, oh, you want to make it. Right. What does that mean to you? You know what I mean? Like, what's success really?
Which is different for everybody.
Define that before you even start making. Like, make it. Have fun making it. Be creative.
Is it the longevity? Is it, can I just get rich fast right now?
What's your goal with this thing? Because if your goal is money, then you should probably stop doing it. Wholehearted. 100%. I think you're misguided, and that's okay. But, but I would say the underground scene, you want to talk about the underground scene? Like, next week, me and my brother Q, shouts out Q, we run this multimedia company called 1202. We're starting this other sector within that, which is going to be the Southside Blueprint. And with that is a bunch of curriculum that we've been doing in random schools, community centers, anyone who will put us in front of some kids who are willing to press some buttons and learn. Our whole thing is we're just implementing
which is
like
a beautiful initiative.
Yeah, creativity and experimentation. That is like harvesting, like, man, being able to give these kids the tools and the understanding to do better. Man, I know it's gonna make. I remember if I would have had that, like, I would probably be going crazy right on a whole different level. And that's that thing is like, yeah, we're just trying to pave it forward.
Right. I feel the same way, because it's like you get to this point where you learn all this information and it's like, damn, like, how can I give this to somebody else? Because I wanted this when I was younger.
You got to decentralize it. You got to give it out for real.
Right.
And that's what's so crazy about it too. Out here in Tucson, we've been so conditioned. Like all my OGs will tell you, like, we were talking about this. Someone you want to get game from somebody, they're gonna tell you, like, go out there and find it.
Right.
That's just our culture. That's
a part of the hustle.
That's part of the hip hop thing too, because you might be taking money out of somebody's pocket. Some decades back when homie was digging for that sample.
Right.
Homie was looking for that record for like months. He stumbled across it in Indianapolis on a random trip with his family. You know what I mean? Then
it's a part of the hustle, and it's a part of actually earning your way.
Made some nasty with it, and then now you're pulling up. You just made your third beat, and you're like,
hey,
what's that sample? And bro's like, you can go find it.
Right.
And then that's that piece is like.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's funny because, like, if you stay stuck on the sample, you realize he's not telling you necessarily go find that sample. He's telling you go find what's going to make you make this. Like,
the process that you can go through to go and
you gotta
make
figure it out
greatness
yourself.
the way I've been able to do it.
And if you get stuck and you fail and you quit, then that's on that. If you get stuck, you fail, and you keep going, then that's on that, and it's gonna get where it needs to get to.
Right. And failure all the time isn't like a bad thing.
Oh, no.
I've always, you know, in the beginning they teach you like, oh, if you're a loser, whatever. You're in those little games in elementary school, whatever. Yeah. But you grow up and it's like, when you fail, that's the only way you can get better. If you keep on getting a yes, or you keep on getting like, you're amazing, this, that, and the third, how are you ever going to be able to move out of your comfort zone, you know?
That's big facts.
Yeah.
That's big facts.
And I'm glad you mentioned 12-2. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
1202. So it's 1202.
Okay.
Yeah, 1202. You know, it's funny, we've always had, like, straight up, that's Nana's house. That's the family's house right there. That's where we learned to build. Yeah. Like, that's where I learned, like, how to lead the best way I can. And, like, through that, I've been blessed to have such beautiful people around me who've been able to trust the process, trust the art, trust, like, if you go to our page, if you look at all the individuals who we've collaborated with, it's nothing but talent. It's nothing but straight, like, just beauty and like just going out here in the desert. And that's kind of what we prided ourselves in the beginning, is we just really wanted to build wide. We didn't care about making no money, building no record label, nothing like that. That's why we called it a multimedia company. Our goal was really just we had some bread, we put it up towards things we believed in, and made some beautiful moments out of it, was able to sustain that paper to take the next 5 years to what we want to do. And that's beautiful. Like, it's been 5 years since we did the branding, like the rebrand on it.
That's a big thing. Yeah.
Thank you. It's been nice. It's been cool, like, being able to get to the point to where we realized we were building so many different facets of it. It's the art thing, and it's like pushing new ideas through the art, decentralizing information, going back to that, I think.
Right.
And then on the other end, the workshops, teaching the kids and things like that. And I understood that it was a little confusing to a lot of people who've been following, because it's either like one or the other. You got the people who are like, you know what I mean, well, you're either trying to get the bag, or you're trying to, you know what I mean, do it for your people. And it's like, man, like, it's crazy creating that divide. It doesn't have to be two different things. Yeah, but in actuality, I get it, the way people receive it, it does. In order for it to get motion, it does. So I'm excited to sit down and actually create the bodies for the thing, and let 1202 be the umbrella of it all, if that what it needs to be.
Right,
you know what I mean?
That's amazing. I really love that. And I'm like, the biggest value of what 1202 is the community that you create. Not only within music and the artist, but also like anybody who's upcoming and wants to get into this industry.
Yeah,
which is really beautiful. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, okay, well, I love that. Thank you for speaking to that.
No, I appreciate that, yeah.
So, your most recent project was A Block, a block away.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was in collaboration with R&D1 with a few features on there, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a beautiful project, by the way. I listened to it. It was really great.
Thank you so much. Shouts out Round 1. Shouts out Round 1.
Wait, how do you say his name?
Round 1.
Round 1. I was like R&D1. Okay,
yeah,
Round 1. Got you. Okay. What was your favorite track on that project?
Oh, man. Yo, it's so crazy. But right now, what I will say on that one, it would have to be. I'm torn between, like, I love different songs for different reasons. Like, that's one of those ones where it definitely has, like, shouts out my brother. We've been cooking since like 2018 was when I met bro. Their oldest song on there is like from 2021.
Oh wow, okay.
Really, Lil Villains. That song is like 2021, and
so it's been a process.
Been wild, and it's not like we ever we got done with it and it just lived in the hard drive. We knew it was good.
Right.
And it's not like we.
But it's a big piece of music, and like developing these strategies and when to put out and when to do the rollouts and all this is like patience and timing. Like it may be good then, and you want to put it out right away and whatever, but you let it sit for a little bit. And it's like when you making bread and the freaking dough rises.
Yeah, you
gotta let it you
gotta let the sun come up and the process to go about. You know what I mean? Like. On the other end, some of those songs like we recorded not even like 3-4 weeks before the project got released. So it was beautiful to come together and actually turn it into a tangible thing. what's so sick is me and bro been cooking so much. We actually got a deluxe coming. We're
Oh,
gonna drop it
really?
in May. Our
Oh my
goal
God,
is May
yay,
right now.
exciting.
In March, we're actually gonna be on the 9th. We're planning on dropping Cautious Conscience,
Okay.
which is one of those 3 songs that I ended up giving you too. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Okay.
we get a
Period.
chance to play
So
that. You play a snippet
yeah,
on the
for
video
sure.
or
We'll
something.
definitely be
but
playing it in this. So make sure y'all listen to the whole entire interview
there
because
we
then you're
go.
gonna hear it.
But yeah, no, shouts out my brother Round One. Karma Suit Slow is amazing on that.
Okay,
on that,
that's the
on
one
that
I got here
project.
that I liked.
Sick. That's tight. I like that.
I'm like, wait, that's one of my favorites.
That's ill. Heaven Knows. Heaven Knows is an amazing song.
Mhm.
I love the sentiment on A Block Away interlude.
And that's the next one I got on here too. I
Tight.
really like that one.
No, the sentiment on that one's real nice. It's like,
Mhm.
don't forget where you come from. type
Beautiful.
thing.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, cool. If you were to describe your music to somebody who is interested in listening to you, who has never heard you before, what would that description be? What's the style?
Man. It depends on what project you're listening to.
Okay.
Because in recent days, I feel like art has been so like, man, we're moving so fast nowadays that if you go listen to like A Block Away, because it's all Round One's production, it feels a little different
Mhm.
from like Dita Deus, which is like an older project I dropped in 2022 with my brother Trent Taylor,
Mhm.
the Brown EP with Q. They all feel different. At the end of the day, I feel like, man, my shit is such the desert. I feel like it's dusty. I feel like I'm knocking the dust off
Okay.
of like the old texts.
Period.
That's
Okay.
what my
All
music
right.
really feels like.
All
I
right.
don't even know how else to
No,
put
I
it.
like that description. That's
Thank you.
perfect. Yeah. All right. So with on the topic of the project that you guys had just dropped, with that being a collaboration project, I'm sure the process may have been a little bit different when you're approaching the writing and all that. But when you hit the studio, what does a typical session look like for you? And like, what is something essential that you have to always like do or have with you
Sick.
in those sessions?
Man, a couple things. I think for sure good energy. I gotta have
Okay,
good
yeah,
energy to
of
knock out the
course.
session right. Whether that's like the end of a good day, the beginning of a good day. I slept amazing, woke up, got to it. Roll up and throw on some like I'll always throw on something random that's just entertaining to watch. Like
Mhm.
every time you look up, it's just something intriguing.
What is that for you?
There's a handful of things. So with the homies, shouts out my boy Keys, my boy Devoid Diaz. He's out of Madrid right now, bro. He used to always put on like skate videos when we used to cook,
Okay.
and like so it'd either be like a skate video or it'd be like some crazy movie like the homie put me on this movie called Baraka. It's an Indian director. Bro would like I believe it's an Indian director if I'm not mistaken. Homie would like go to different parts of the world, but he would get similar scenes. So like he would go to the Sahara Desert,
Yeah.
right? Get random stills and scenes from the Sahara Desert, but he would juxtapose that with random Sonoran Desert shots.
Oh, cool.
So at a certain point, he would blur the lines between where you're actually at in the world.
right.
He would go to a random village in Indonesia, kick it with them. They're singing a song, and then the audio is blending over this like random village in the middle of like shit. This pueblo in Mexico, you know what I mean? In Mexico, like right there, just kicking it, like and things like that. I love.
So a lot of creativity going on even in the room with
universe. Yeah, exactly. That I love that. Have you ever seen Holy Mountain?
you. No.
Shouts out my brother.
You know, I love sitting with you because you just be dropping so many good things.
Man,
I'm like, he already told me so
because
many
art,
books, movies,
I
everything.
love art. I love the idea. Like, there's one end of all this thing. Everybody's gonna tell. It's like consumption, right? Like, it's not that.
Right.
You get inspired by these things. You know what I mean? You get like these things are crazy. Like, the who knows the shows you were watching when you were 5 years old. Like, so like you could turn 40 and be like, yo, I want to make a cartoon.
Yeah.
And you could be like, yo, there was that one show I loved when I was 5 years old. And I'm trying to
Mhm.
make an iteration of that, but like this.
Right.
And that's what like that random thought. It might be funny to you. You might be joking around about with your kids when you're in the future, but then you're like, depending on how hard you feel about that idea and follow that, it could be the most beautiful thing the world's ever seen.
Right.
But you won't know until you try, right?
Right.
And that's what I think so dope about it is like all these books, everything I brought up to you. I love that. So when it comes to like being in the studio, I like watching something that's gonna have me look at it and trip out, provoke something in me. Whether it's like uncomfortability, whether it's like a bliss, whether it's a pain,
which helps you through the process of creating those
tracks.
tracks.
It reminds you you're human, right?
Right.
Like, and I love that. That's important to remember in the midst of it because I feel like a lot of people get superficial. You know, I'm going to the studio. I got it. You know, you get the illest fit.
Right.
You need girls up in there, all the whole nine. I've been in studio sessions that people in my city and my family probably would trip out on. Like in rooms with people where I shouldn't have been. I really shouldn't be out here doing half the things I'm doing right now. I want you to know wholeheartedly.
No, not that you shouldn't. Things come to you when you're deserving of them, you know?
I love that too. I believe
Yes.
that. I believe that wholeheartedly. But I feel like the things I came from, like, man, the fact that I am doing this is miracles. And so within that, I understood that, like, the studio's been before. It's been me a small little interface, a handheld dynamic like this, a beat from like the homie, and my laptop. And then sometimes it's been like in like $50,000 to like $80,000 worth of gear in front of me, soundboard looking wicked. You know what I mean? The intimidation is crazy, but like you're inspiring every single person in the place.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So when you have those two different spaces that you enter, is having like those visuals in the back of whatever movie or whatever is, you know, whatever video you guys choose to put on for the day, is that something that kind of calms you down and like brings you back to, you know, level-headed?
You ever see what was that movie, Inception?
I heard of it. I told you what movies I like.
No, I remember. Shouts out all the rom-coms. Shouts out the rom-coms. You like Disney movies too, I bet.
I don't like Disney movies.
You don't? Okay, sick.
Well, like they're cool, but I'm not gonna put one on.
I feel no. Hey, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Like if it's on, like
mid, bro. Anyways, Inception, homie.
Okay.
These fools are jumping through dreams, but what he does is he has like this little memento, and he'll like spin it anytime he's in a dream.
Yeah,
it'll fall over, or it won't stop spinning, or some shit like that. And that's how he knows he's in a dream.
Right.
And I feel like it's crazy that you brought that up. That it kind of calms me down, because I wonder if that's what it might be. It might be something that helps tether me to where even though I'm in front of all this equipment there's pressure. There's pressure sometimes.
But it's just something that is like when it's
so
there, it's consistent. It's what's gonna be in the room whether you're in like a big room full of like,
or it's just me and a mic.
Big people. Right. You know, you said that thing, what you just said right now about Inception, and you know what it made me think of? Have you ever had sleep paralysis? That's so random.
For so long.
So random.
God, I've had it since I was like younger. Some of the scariest shit in my life.
It's so scary. I be having it like if I am in a deep sleep and I wake up and I gotta go to work and I get ready. But I used to like, I live in Jersey and I used to commute to New York. So it's like an hour ride, and then I fall asleep in the car ride because I'm not driving. And then I'm like, I'm trying to wake up because I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work. I'm like in the car and I can't wake up. And I'm like, bro, and I'm like, it's just a dream. Like I'm good. Like I'm trying to like talk to myself in my head. I was the worst. I know. I'm like, what is this?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I need to know like I'm normal. Maybe somebody else has had it before.
No, it's real. It's very, very real.
So real.
It's very, very real.
Bro, it's so real.
It gets scary.
Well, outside the music, what are some of your other passions and interests right now?
Oh man.
And food that you like, tell me about that too.
Food? Okay, there we go.
I can get down with food all the time. I'm Torres, so I
see
love
you. Well, we just
food,
had opsons. Was that the first time you had opsons?
That was the first time.
Okay, tell you. Shouts out tacos opsons. Man, wait. So first, what
interests,
else I've been
passions, doing? Food. More about you aside from the music.
Man, I've been working on a lot of video work recently.
Okay.
In this age of content creators and things like that, I'm
super
trying to
important.
make sure I'm honed in on a lot of content. Not even like a lot of content, but just I want to make sure the punches hit
right
the way they need to, and that's kind of what I've been honing in on.
You're well-rounded.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
multi-creative,
that a lot. Shouts out
everywhere.
The
yeah,
homie said a polymath is what you call like multifaceted.
Right,
artist,
right.
You know what I mean? And I've never necessarily I don't even consider myself that as much as it is. It's funny, but it's because I never necessarily mastered a single thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's always
what is it like the jack of all trades is a master of none?
Yeah. But and they say oftentimes is better than the master of one. That's
right.
They say that's the continue of that quote. But it's interesting to just juggle them all. Right now, video work has been nice. Writing curriculum. I've been doing project management for a minute. I never called it that, but that's what it was with 1202 when we were knocking shit out. It was all project management. So I'd say I'm still doing that. We're still trying to hold shows. We got workshops coming. Shouts out 1202, Southside Blueprint.
Amazing.
Trying to just put on good art, good food. Shouts out La Indita.
Oh my God! Wait,
yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
The family right there, fucking,
okay.
Yeah,
when I was living on the dorms freshman year, the janitor, I used to talk to him all the time, and he told me that his uncle is the one who owns that or something. It's in his family somehow. He was like, "It's the best spot in Tucson." I was like, "Oh my God, I still have yet to go."
They're royalty in Tucson.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah,
okay.
no, them. Shouts out Edgar. Shouts out Guillermo's Double L right there on Dito. Man, there's so much beautiful food out here. You gotta go try Buffalo Bell.
Okay, yeah, I know. I have to try so many.
Honestly, on some real though, I have homies from all over. Right, I got homies who came from Atlanta and stuff, and bro, you ain't had wings, so you go to Atlanta, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to see what that's like. Let's do it.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited to travel more and get more food.
Yeah, and so you travel a lot. So what was your favorite city that you've been to?
Oh man, it's hard. It's hard. I love New York. New York was fun.
Period.
New York was so much fun. I can't even lie. There was so much going. I've had so many people.
Tri-State is the best, by the way.
Ones,
just so y'all know.
Hey, Allstate. You know what I mean? We just going everywhere. Got insurance for your Allstate. No, I'm trolling. I'm sorry. Terrible.
Yeah,
joke.
I caught it.
I thought I was gonna go over. But
it takes me a minute. You know I'm late.
New York was hilarious. New York was hilarious. New York was fun as hell. It was being able to experience so much. I remember I had a lot of family who was very like, they like a slower city.
Right.
You know what
I mean,
So
growing up out here is very slow
it's chill.
compared to something like that.
Exactly. So getting out there, it felt good. It felt invigorating. It felt nice. It felt livening.
Yeah, for sure.
And making plays out there was beautiful. Shouts out all the homies out in New York for real. Like, yeah.
So then what's on your bucket list for this year or in the coming years for travel?
Madrid, trying to get to Madrid. My biggest goal right now, honestly, I want to perform at a lowrider show in Tokyo.
Oh my God, wait, that's fire.
That's a very specific goal, but I'm going to do it. I'm knocking that out.
For sure.
That's
fire.
Yeah.
I need to go out to I need like Japan or maybe not China, but like Japan definitely got to get out there.
Yeah, hey, China too, you never know.
Nah, China's
Catch me
cool
out in
too.
Hong Kong, you know what I mean? Just eat some noodles just out there.
You know, mine is Dubai. I've been dying to get out there to Dubai.
We'll catch you out there. It's going to be fire.
Yeah, we're going to link up and do something out there.
There we go. Shouts out Dubai. We're
going to be like, you remember when we sit on the couch in camp? Actually, we're in Dubai.
There we go.
That's the next spot.
Dubai's going to be fun. I'm trying to hit like Istanbul. It's another beautiful place. Trying to go to like there.
That's fire.
Madrid. I got a lot. I'm still trying to knock out. I got to go back to New York this summer. We shouts out the homies over there at the Donut Lounge. Shouts out AR. Shouts out Nick. Shouts out all of them. We're definitely trying to go back out there. San Diego. Shouts out.
San Diego's nice.
Yeah. Shouts out Tim. Shouts out Fashawn. Was on Bro's recent album. Amazing project.
So moving into like the end of this first quarter of the new year, is there anything that you have coming? Anything that you have for goal wise, like in 2025? What are you striving to achieve?
Man, Shut Up Mijo. Shut Up Mijo is a project I've been incubating for like some years now, a while. And yeah, it's coming this year. I'm definitely trying to get it out. So we can look forward to that. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. I'm trying to knock that out. Block Away Deluxe coming in May, and we got the Brown LP with me and Q coming out soon too.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Put some drops out there. Let them know where they can find you.
Oh yeah, no. What a REY on IG, Twitter. I'm not on Twitter that much. TikTok, we're gonna start getting a little more active. You know what I mean? Trying to crack jokes on there for y'all. What else we got? Twitch, 1202 Twitch. That's TWELVO. TWO. Tap into our Twitch. We're gonna start doing the live stream. SoundCloud 1202 Radio. Also, we're gonna start hosting mad content on there as well. Make sure you tap in with the family for real.
Period. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you guys for listening. Make sure you go to his Instagram. He plugged it here. I will also be posting it so y'all can easily just go into it. Give him a follow, listen to his music, and you already know you listen to Pretty Girls Love Hip Hop with the one and only Soleil, and this was Mic Talk.
Ain't got time for it, 2 out of mind for it. Say you on the line for it, say you on your grind for it. Yeah, I think you lied for it.